For example 5, we have a machine fills containers with a liquid solution at the rate of 80 plus 2t milliliters per second, where t is in seconds and t is between 0 and 60. How many milliliters are put into the container during the 60 seconds? Notice that the function we're given is a rate. So if we integrate that function, we're going to get a total amount. So the total number of milliliters during those first 60 seconds is the definite integral from 0 to 60 of the rate 80 plus 2t and then dt. So we'll find our antiderivative, which will be 80t plus t squared, and we're going to plug in 0 and 60 and subtract those two numbers. And again, remember, you need to use this notation. Don't make up your own method. Use this notation. Plugging in the 60, I have 80 times 60 minus plus 60 squared, and then minus what I get putting in the 0, which would be 80 times 0 plus 0 squared. So doing that computation, we get 8,400 milliliters. Another example. The marginal cost of producing X units of a product is modeled by the function C prime of X equals 200 minus 0.8x. What would be the additional cost if production were increased from 200 units to 210 units? The additional cost would be the definite integral from 200 to 210 of C prime of X dx. That's because what we're interested in, when it says additional cost, it's the cost of producing 210 units minus the cost of only producing 200 units. And the difference is the additional cost. C prime of X is 200 minus 0.8x. Then we have our dx. So first we find the antiderivative, which will be 200x minus 0.8x squared over 2. And we're evaluating that from 200 to 210. And again, you must use this standard notation. Let's clean that up a little bit before we start plugging things in. That'll be 200x minus 0.4x squared, and I'm still indicating that I'm going to plug those numbers in because I haven't done it yet. So we still need to be using that notation. Plugging the numbers in, we have 200 times 210 minus 0.4 times 210 squared minus what we get plugging in 200. And what we get plugging in 200 is 200 times 200 minus 0.4 times 200 squared. And crunching those numbers, that works out to be $360.